formation. Now, he says if God applies this fundamental principle to the most minute and insignificant parts of the universe, it makes sense to assume that he applies it also to the masterpiece of his creation, the human soul. I think it does. And everything science has taught me, says Mondrian, and continues to teach me, strengthens my belief in the continuity of our spiritual existence after death. Nothing disappears without a trace. It just changes form. Life made the baby that Nancy was, and while everyone watched, that life also made her into a little girl, and nobody cried for the baby because they had the little girl to play with. That same life remade Nancy into the wonderful young woman that everybody enjoyed so much. No one mourned the girl because they were enjoying the young woman. And now that very same life has graduated Nancy into a fuller expression of itself. The only difference is that this time the change takes place in the realm our human eyesight cannot behold. So this time we feel a sense of separation that wasn't there when the other changes took place. And even though our physical eyes cannot see her, she lives on in our minds and hearts. And I'd like to take a moment for us to close our eyes right now and take a deep breath. And imagine a beautiful place in nature, a place you love or you've read about or seen in movies or been there. Imagine yourself at this beautiful place. And now, way far away around the corner, a figure is coming and starting to walk. Is it a man or a woman? And as it starts to come into your perception, you realize it's Nancy. She's coming closer and closer and closer. And she's smiling, her beautiful smile, and you're smiling at her, and you hold open your arms. She's coming closer and closer and closer until you can embrace her and tell her so long. It's been good to know you, hasta la vista. You can tell her how much you love her and hear what she has to say to you. Just take a moment to do that. A kiss on the cheek and give her another squeeze, and she's starting to walk away back into where she came from, around the bend. And she turns and she waves at you, and you wave back at her, and she waves and waves at you and waves back at her, until finally she, a speck, she goes around the corner, blows you a kiss, disappears from our sight. That is all. Now take a deep breath. Wiggle your toes and fingers. And when you're ready, open your eyes and be here now. Be here now. Nancy has written a phenomenal poem, and I would like to share it with you. It is incredible. She was a total genius artistically, creatively, writing-wise, so brilliant. And Dean just gave me this poem to share with you. This is incredible. It's called When Tomorrow Starts Without Me. Nancy wrote this. When tomorrow starts without me and I'm not here to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears, I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you, and each time you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand. An angel came and called my name and took me by the hand. He said, my place in heaven was ready far above, and I'd have to leave behind all those I dearly love. But as I turned to walk away, a tear fell from my eye, for I'd always thought I didn't want to die. I had so much to live for and so much yet to do. It seemed almost impossible that I was leaving you. I thought of all the love we shared and all the fun we had. If I could relive yesterday, I thought just for a while I'd say goodbye and kiss you and maybe see you smile. But then I fully realized that this could never be, for emptiness and memories would take the place of me. When I thought of worldly things that I'd miss come tomorrow, I thought of you, and then I was filled with sorrow. But when I walked through heaven's gate, I felt so much at home when God looked down and smiled at me from his great golden throne. He said, this is eternity, and all I've promised you. Today your life on earth is past, but here it starts anew. I promise no tomorrows, but today will always last, and since each day there is no longer for the past. You have been faithful, so trusting and true, although there were times you did some things you knew you shouldn't do. But you have been forgiven, and now at last. So won't you take my hand and share your life with me? So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart. For every time you think of me, I'm right there in your heart. Nancy Lee. Gorgeous. This is the time we're going to share loving memories of Nancy. Every time I was with her, I'm getting God bumps just thinking about it. You know what God bumps are? She was so adorable, so brilliant, so mystical, so metaphysical, so spiritual. It was always an inspiration just to spend quality time with her. Who has a memory? You don't have to come up here, you could just sort of stand where you're sitting. Who has a memory of being with her that you'd like to share with us? I know there's something you're thinking of.
Well, I mean,
Tell us your name first.
Steve Sanders. And for me, it was not so much a memory of an incident that happened, because those incidents are a little blurry because it was college. So, but she treated me like a son, which was really special. So I was friends with Doug and Dean, and so every time I would go over there, which is practically every weekend, she was like a second mom. And so she'd always prepare us dinner and sit around and talk, and she was always very enjoyable to talk with, you know, to her artwork. So what I really remember is how special she made me feel when I came in.
Thank you so much, Steve. Don't be shy. We all want to share. Thank you so much.
I'm John McFarland, family friend for years and years, since the mid-90s. Nancy was always adept at getting us first row tickets to any ballet or symphony that we'd go to. And we established a little symphony group, and a couple, 3 times a season, you'd see us sit in front row on the ballet or the symphony. Nancy was a great lover of the arts, and she was completely enraptured by all the beautiful music and incredible art that this city has to offer, and we're lucky to have shared that with her all these years.
Thank you so much, John.
My name is Angela Holt, and I met Nancy through Dean, and I've known Dean since the 80s, so I've known Nancy quite a long time. Before I had joined this symphony circle, when Nancy had invited me, I said, well, how are we going to get there? She wasn't sure. I said, well, let's rent a limousine. And I think maybe because she had sons who did share so much in the sparklies, that with me, it became a tremendous event. We would talk about our outfits, girl things. We'd talk about our jewelry. We'd talk about the champagne. We'd talk about the event itself. We would marvel at how good we looked. Never mind about the guys, but we would always marvel at how good we looked. And so it was a little bit more than a friend, almost like a mother in a way, taking an interest in me and